Hi, everyone. Welcome. We're going to be getting started in just a few minutes. You're welcome to post any questions or chat. You should see a chat function at the bottom of your screen. Just go ahead and click it and it will pull up a chat window and you can put your questions or anything else, other comments in the chat window. Okay, we're ready to get started.
Okay, welcome everybody. My name is Louise Adler. I'm the chair of Canyon Democrats, and I am the sole responsible person if anything goes kaflooey tonight. It's usually me who does it, but we're getting pretty good at this, so just be patient with us. Oh, this is interesting. We're using Zoom format. And so there are a couple things I'd like to show you. First of all, everything is public in Zoom. So if you don't want people to see you, you can stop your video by clicking this little emblem here at the bottom. And the other thing is that if you have questions of the speaker or comments that you want to share with the board of directors of Canyon Dems, you can just use the section in the chat, okay? So, and I will remind you about that before our speaker comes on. And what we do first is we say the Pledge of Allegiance, and I get to say it. So please join me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, with freedom and liberty for all. And we've shown this slide before, but it gets even scarier when I have to type in the new numbers. So we've lost almost 500 of our neighbors here in Orange County, and we are almost at 30,000 cases in Orange County. It's pretty scary. And we had more bad news this week with the death of John Lewis, one of the icons of the civil rights movement. And I actually had the honor to meet him once. And he was a wonderful, warm individual. As famous as he was, he sat down right next to you and he was just like one of your neighbors. He was wonderful. And after the bad news, I thought you'd like to see some good news. Okay, so I know we don't trust polls after what happened to Hillary, but the polls are looking very good. And as you can see from the 538 average of polls, that in most of the swing states, Biden is leading substantially and going in the right direction. So we hope it keeps up that way. And the only way that will happen, of course, is if we keep up our efforts. But it is, without a doubt, good news. So this is our agenda for the night. And we have some serious business to do in addition to having a wonderful speaker. But we try to do it very efficiently so we get to our speaker pretty quickly. And there are two items on the agenda tonight that are important because we're going to ask you to vote to give support to our local school board candidates and a Mission Viejo City Council candidate. And we're also going to vote on a motion to approve the executive board's recommendations for contributions as outlined on the table that was attached to the notice of the meeting. So hopefully you all found that and know about it. And I'm going to show it to you again in a minute, okay? And as most of you who are members of the club know, we can take care of all of this on our consent calendar, but we can also pull off items if there's a will of the club to have a discussion of either of these motions. So let me quickly summarize for you what's coming up. And then if you have an objection to keeping it on the consent calendar, you need to state it in the chat right away. So here is a list of the candidates and the amounts of the contributions that we're proposing to make tonight. In the first column, you see the office on what is, I hope, your left, and then the name of the candidate. And then if there's a contribution limit, it's shown in the next column. That's the maximum you can give a candidate. You see in the next column to that, going to the right, the previous contributions to Congress, state Senate, and Assembly candidates that we already made earlier in the spring. And then we are recommending tonight the contributions that are in the final column to the right. And I need to tell you that the board's thinking was to make some contributions now and then see where we are in September and do another round of contributions in September. So that because we still have money coming in and we still, candidate filing for the local offices doesn't end until August 7th. So we can't really finalize it until after that in any case. Okay. So, Rachel, could you look in the chat and see if anybody objected to having these two motions on the agenda, on the consent list?
No one yet. Going
Nobody.
once.
Okay.
Going twice. Nope.
Okay. So I from the board members, would somebody please make the motion to adopt the consent items?
Janet Henry makes a motion to accept the consent item.
Who did? Put it in the chat.
Janet Henry did.
Thank you, Janet. And we need a second.
I saw a second from Marty.
Thank you very much. Okay. And so we're going to do a poll vote. If you are a member of Canyon Dems, please vote in the poll. If you're a visitor and you're not a member, please don't vote. So we're voting on the consent calendar, and that will be the agenda, the minutes of the last meeting, the motion to support the local candidates, the motion to give the candidate contributions, and the motion to adjourn at the end of the meeting. So put up the poll, please. Is the poll up?
The poll is up. Right now it's 43-0.
Thank you. Interesting. I never get to see the poll, so I don't get a vote. Okay. So how are we doing on our poll?
Looks like we've topped out at 43 votes for and 0 against.
And so I say we have 43 people at least. We have a quorum and we have adopted the consent items. Yay. We got it done. All right. Thank you very much, everybody. Just a few heads up from me. I heard Nancy Pelosi on a Zoom call. We only hear people on Zoom now. And she made a really good point. She said, we need to stop talking about vote by mail because, of course, all the Republicans are attacking vote by mail. She recommended that we talk about vote at home. We're all at home, so we're voting at home. And I would like to add to that it's really very important this time around that everybody vote right away. A lot of Democrats in the primary waited because we weren't sure who we wanted for president. We didn't know who to vote for. But this time we want everybody to vote right away as soon as you get your ballot, because those get counted right the first thing on election night. And if we have a big surge of votes for Biden early on across the country, it will make winning a lot easier. Okay, so whoa, what happened there? We're going to have our field team report starting with Faye. And we're going to do the field team reports and then we'll have our speaker. Okay? Okay, so Faye, take it away.
There we go. Hi, everybody. Good evening. We've had quite a bit of things going on with the field ready to ramp up. Things are starting to happen. We're just barely days from the election, so we'll be getting a lot more active. We've had a phone bank going where we've been making wellness calls to VAHO voters, and I'm happy we have completed the entire list. We reached out to 2,578 Democrats, and with the help of 10 volunteer callers. So there were a lot of calls being made, and we were able to flag and identify 291 disconnected numbers, 135 wrong numbers, and there were feedback that most of our voters in Mission Viejo are doing fine during the pandemic. There were a couple of people that needed a little help with a couple federal agencies able to work through that with them and get them back on track. So I want to thank all of the folks who picked up the phone and made these calls. They were actually really rewarding, really easy calls to make because they're all Democrats. And we found that everyone's at home and everyone was really happy to chat. And I had one gentleman last week, which was actually on the Laguna Hills phone bank, fabulous conversation with him and his response was, I always have time for Democrats. That's how these are going. We're real happy with it. And we have now closed out Mission Viejo. We are launched Laguna Hills phone bank. So we're calling Laguna Hills voters, same thing. This script is a little different. We're actually talking a little more about arriving in the mailbox and voting begins in October, and encouraging folks to, like Louise said, vote from home and vote early and get the ballot in. So that's where we're at on that. We've got the sign up out on our website. The image shows Mission Viejo, but it really will take you to the sign up for Laguna Hills. Super easy to do. If you need training, we're having a Zoom. So we're going at, we need folks to help us out with Laguna Hills. So Louise. So we're doing some texting. We're getting our feet with texting, and Annie Krinsky did a fabulous job of putting together some programs. We're going to have some robust campaigns pretty much every month now through the election. We're targeting voters in our Canyon Dems precincts. Because of the virus, we're really not to do as much door-to-door activities as we would have. So we're finding other ways to reach out to talk to our voters. And so Annie's got some programs up. We're also, through this, we're trying to drive some traffic to our website, hoping to recruit some new members. So messaging is, it's actually developing. Each program will be a little bit different, but we're trying to keep voters informed of the mail ballot process and timing. Recruiting our volunteers will happen soon. I think Annie's next project is launching mid-August, and we'll probably need some help from a few folks on that. So stay tuned. The other exciting news is that because voter registration is really curtailed because of the virus, Judy Fike, who is normally our voter registration expert, has teamed up with Annie, and she's going to help with the texting expert. So Judy has a lot of experience in the age group that is more receptive to text messages. I think it's going to go really well. The two of them are working on those plans. So stay tuned. You'll hear more about that coming up. Louise?
Sarah, are you there?
She was having trouble with her video. I think I'll just let her off the hook and take this one.
Okay.
We do have a postcard event that we're launching also for Laguna Hills voters, because we have a school board candidate, Ed Wong, is on the Laguna Hills ballot this time. So we're really trying to reach out to voters early because we do have a local candidate on the ballot. And we actually got feedback from some of our members that because of the virus, they're at home and they're really anxious to do something. So Sarah put together this program where we're going to do postcards to the Laguna Hills voters. What we'll do is we will provide 50 cards, markers, stickers, a whole package. It's a bag of goodies, and we will drop it off at your porch. Everything is clean and been in quarantine, so she'll just drop it off. We just need you to sign up. The one thing we do need is we're asking for donations to the postcards. They're 35 cents each. The reason being our regular budget is spoken for, and we finish taking care of all of our candidates, we really can't get a handle on money's left in the budget. So we're donations. We just need to write the cards and stick the stamps and then get it back to Sarah, and she will make sure that they get mailed out to the voters in time.
And I talked to Sarah, and she said that if people don't want to go to the post office to buy their stamps, they can just put their $17.50 in the packet with the cards when they're done, and Sarah will take care of getting the stamps.
Yeah,
Okay?
yeah. Make it as easy for folks as we can. So
Right.
that event will be on the, I know that there's been some issues on the website, but it's on the website for sign up. So keep an eye out for that. So that's it for us, Louise.
Great. Okay. Anne, community outreach. Go ahead, Annie. Are you there, Anne?
There we go. Okay, I just unmuted. Yes, I'm here.
Great.
So I want to thank the people that wrote letters to the National Corps presentation in Lake Forest on their affordable housing project. And the next step of this process is going to be putting this project before the Planning Commission this Thursday, the 23rd at 6:30. So how you can help that is one of two ways, or you can do both. You can actually send a letter in support of affordable housing to the Planning Commission. And it's just planningcommission@lakeforestca.gov. It has to be there by 5 o'clock by Thursday. Or you can call up like I did today on the telephone. The number is on your screen, and there's a voicemail you can leave up to 3 minutes long. 949-461-3456. And I read my support letter over the phone, and that will be read at the meeting during the meeting on Thursday. We're going to allow people, but not because of the COVID shutdown. They're not allowing any participants. So I think this is looking good. It's basically the only affordable housing project that's moving forward in South Orange County. So I think we need to also praise Lake Forest for stepping ahead and keep giving a pat on the back. So they will, hopefully in August, the city council will approve it. And if you have questions, you are free to email me outreach@canyondems.org. Okay. And we're going up in membership. We have 373, so we're slowly inching up there. If you know of anybody, I saw tonight, we have probably 10 people at our meeting tonight who are not members. So you folks, you know who you are. You need to go to canyondems.org and sign up to be a Canyon Dem. We would love to have you. All our money goes to support candidates. So you are really doing a positive thing by joining us. And you get to hear all these wonderful speakers every month also that we're having. So I thank you for that. And the other thing is our shop. Put my little mask on. So since we cannot, can you hear me? Since we cannot do a lot of fundraising, this is our fundraising, folks, our masks. And we have adorable masks. You have to wear a mask. All these are being donated, and all the money is pure profit. So this is our fundraiser for the year. We may not have a brunch, but we have masks. We have jewelry that's adorable. We have water bottles that everybody can use every day, and t-shirts. So this will be the way, instead of, going to a picnic or going to a brunch at the, at the golf club, this is a way we are promoting a fundraising and advertising, because people will ask you, oh, where'd you get that cute mask? And they will know what you stand for. So this is also promoting our beliefs in the community, as well as being a great fundraiser. We're also going to be that we just came up with. So, keep checking to see if we've added some things to our supply.
And,
So thank you very much.
And if you put in an order and actually arranges for it to be delivered to you, or you can pick it up from Ann, either way.
So,
So
you can do a
it
porch
doesn't
pickup
go
at
through
my
the mail.
house. Yeah, you can do a porch pickup at my house, or I will deliver it to your porch. Okay.
So everybody get something. Go shopping.
Right.
Kenyon Dems wants you to go shopping.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Oh, and this is this was actually supposed to be shown at the last meeting, and I messed it up, so I put it back in so you could see it. This was a survey done of Democrats and Republicans on mask wearing, and you can see only 18% of the Democrats aren't wearing it all most of the time, but look at the Republicans. Okay, 46% at that point were not wearing masks. So if you believe evolution, help. Oh, Janet Henry, are you there?
So, okay, there we are.
Thank you.
To everyone, and this is a good timing here. Professor Graham hopefully has gotten us all excited about the upcoming election and how important it is. So tonight I'm going to talk about what we're doing locally. Louise had the screen up, and hopefully you have that either in front of you, or make sure you go on the Kenyon Dems and look at that. So we'll take a look at our federal or our congressional positions. And again, we have offered money to Levin and to Porter, and we have now topped out with our contributions as a club.
Almost. We're not quite. I think.
Oh, okay. Oh,
We're
you're right.
top out in September.
You're right, because we still have, yes, because 4,500 is their max. Thank you.
Right.
Now for the state, okay, so we have Min, and we have Fox, and we have Reinhardt, and we have contributed to all of those. Reinhardt has a pretty tough, well, they all do, but out for Reinhardt there in the 73rd, he's against Laura Davies, and she's the current mayor there, so she has quite a bit of name recognition. And then, of course, Min and Fox are in some pretty heavy Republican territories. So we've started them out. We're going to see how things go, and hopefully we are going to offer more to them as well. Now, there's another name on there that you might not have recognized before, and that's Contreras. And the reason that we are kind of reaching out to that territory, he's running for the County Board of Supervisors. And right now, it's a 5-person panel with 4 Republicans, 1 Dem. If we can get Contreras on there, we will have a second Dem. So we're really pushing for that. Now we get to our school boards, our local school boards, and you have these pictures up front here with Susie, who's running for the 3rd district. They are now doing districts, and that's a whole new thing for Saddleback. And we have Ed Wong, who is in district number 2. And this is a really good opportunity right now to start working for all of these candidates, and especially with the upcoming Laguna Hills phone bank and the Laguna Hills postcards that Faye's already talked to us about. I want to just kind of hammer that home. And all these candidates are going to be on a postcard, but if it's going to Laguna Hills, you've got a local guy there, that always helps. And then we will go to Mission Viejo as well and get back to some of those areas. Now, let's see, we have another one that is a capo person. We have a little finger of the Kenyon Dems that goes over to capo, and that's with Bronstein, and you see her there. Hopefully you recognize that name, because actually Pamela came out pretty early, and I had been mentioning her name several times. So we are going to start supporting all of these candidates. And then I have one other candidate at the very end, but I'm going to wait for that one. Now for city council, okay, we have Pauline Hale, and we have given her a little money to get her campaign up and going. And then we also have another new name on there, Vergara. And Vergara is a Dem who is actually running for the El Toro Water Board. He's currently on the water board and he's currently the director there. So we want to make sure that he stays there. So far we have 11 candidates that we are supporting with all of the money from our membership and for the sale of jewelries and water bottles and all kinds of things that we've had. And there is one other candidate that I want to throw the name out there for Saddleback School Board, and that is Jerry Gondolfo. He has not officially put his name out there, but I asked him if I could let you guys know and give you his name, and he said yes. So hopefully within the next couple of weeks, he is going to run for the, I think it's the 4th, yeah, area 4, and that's out in the Portola Hills area. So we will keep you abreast of that situation. So there's our candidates. So we're busy. We're busy and helping these folks out and looking at their statements and giving some recommendations. And we have Faye doing research and Louise doing research and trying to help these people as much as possible. So,
Okay, thank you, Janet.
okay, thank you.
It is really important that we get engaged because we aren't going to elect these people if we don't get their name before the voters. Okay, Kathy, do you want to say something about the business group?
Yes. Okay. So, I'm unmuted. Okay. Everyone take a look at, that's the wrong URL. Because that's shop local, unless shop local.
It's the right URL.
Okay, fine. For some reason, I was thinking it was our shop.
No.
No. Okay. Yeah, so everyone should take a look at that. We've got a brand new vendor or member who has a small business in our area. It's a locksmith. So should you ever get yourself locked out of your house, you now know you can go to someone, just find canyondems.org/shop local, and they join. We have somebody who does real estate, travel, t-shirt embroidery designs. So there's lots of little businesses, and we're growing every couple of months, it looks like. So again, if you are out there as a member and you have a small business here within our realm, please email me at business@canyondems.org.
Thank you, Kathy. Okay, fundraising, Marty. Marty? I know you're there, Marty.
I'm unmuted now. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Got it. Okay. Contrary to what Ann said, we do have fundraising still going on in addition to the shop. We have our sustaining donor program, and from which we have approximately 38 monthly donors and 23 one-time donors. And in the aggregate, they have raised $6,613 up until the end of June. And so we encourage you, if you have a little extra in your wallet, you can make a one-time donation through Act Blue, or if you've got an extra $5 or $10 every month, you can sign up to be a monthly donor. And that has been a wonderful way of making money to support the candidates that we want to get elected. So please, if you can, join our sustaining donor program. We did have some car parades. I will get to these in a second, but we did have car parades. We've raised, I think, $600 up till the present. Melora has been wonderful about helping get everything organized. You can see some of the pictures there. We had a great time driving around and honking our horns. And the people to whom we have given this special treat have been very appreciative. If you want to celebrate something, the next one that we're going to do is on September 6th. That will be our Labor Day and back to school car parade. So if you've got a child or a grandchild who's moving up a level and you want to celebrate them, or if you have a union member that you want to celebrate, or just want to be lovely and support somebody with a car parade, please sign up on our web. The 6th of September is our next one. And then we're going to do a trunk or treat extravaganza. We will come by your home and bring you the treats. So it's sort of backwards trick-or-treating. We're not sure that children are actually going to be on the streets this year because of the pandemic, but we will bring safe candy and other kinds of treats to them. And in addition, we think that adults need to be celebrated as well. So our trunk or treat will be available for adults. Now, let me explain to you how that works. We're probably not going to be able to do the O'Neill brunch, which means we're not going to need the wine wall donations. So we think that it would be great to do trunk or treat for the adults with a bottle of wine and a few other little goodies. So if you have in the past donated to our wine wall for the O'Neill brunch, please consider donating a bottle of wine to our trunk or treat for adults. We'll give you the details as we go on. It's a couple months away, but basically we're going to be leaving the wine in the club tub that's at Melora's house. She's going to check regularly so it doesn't sit out in the heat too much. And we'll probably wait to actually do the collection until we get closer to the date, because I don't want Melora having a lot of wine hanging around in her house. So please consider trunk or treat wine donations so that we can share the love to the adults as well as to the children. And then on the 13th of December, now these things are after the election, but we're going to empty our coffers in support of candidates. So we need seed money for next year. So on the 13th of December, we're going to do a visit with Santa, or visit from Santa. We will have a pickup truck with Santa in a rocking chair, and he will come and visit your children at your home. And of course, since he'll be up on the truck bed, the social distancing will be appropriate, and your child or children can have a visit from Santa. So details on that will follow. And then the last thing we're thinking about is a Christmas light parade, where we will gather and at the Murray Center at the bus turnaround, where we always meet our buses for the Women's March. And we will hand you some cider and some cookies and a map of where all of the best local Christmas lights are, so that you can do your own little light parade and go see all the really terrific lights that people have put up. So those are our plans between now and the end of this year. If you want to sign up to be a part of any of this stuff, we have a great time driving around our neighborhoods, and there's a place on the volunteers section of the website where you can sign up to be a part of that. And then also please check regularly for when we're going to sign up and start taking names and addresses for these events. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Marty. Okay, this year we started something new called our community focus groups. And so far, the Lake Forest group got off with a running start because there was a lot of things going on that members in Lake Forest were very interested in. And Andy Alexander is going to talk about that. And then Kathy Palmer is going to talk about what's going on in Mission Viejo. So Andy, are you on? Are you muted? Rachel, can you there? You're unmuted.
I'm unmuted.
Thank you.
First of all, I presented our community choice energy to the council on July 7th, and I let them know that there were 370 voices behind that resolution, and that they weren't just Democrats, but Republicans and independents too, because that's the number of people we had in our club at the time, 370 voices. The other thing I spoke to them about was Black Lives Matter, and I had a conversation with Sheriff Barnes, who gave me the following information that I shared with the council. Chokeholds and neck restraints are banned in Orange County. A registry of offending officers would require state legislative action. And the sheriff actually has no objection to body cams. And then I recommended that everyone go to PBS and put in the search body cams. And there's a whole slew of documentaries on body cams. So, and then I asked them to develop an action plan to ensure safety in law enforcement. The other thing I wanted to address with the council was the safety protocols regarding the virus, in which I did address. I was concerned about the fact that when they send a message out to the public that they were diminishing the numbers or lessening the impact of the numbers. And I thought that that's the worst thing to do, because it gives people a sense of security, that they don't need to follow the protocols. And I asked them to give a strong warning when they're out in the public. And the next thing I talked to them about, I was very busy. The election transparency that Janet had actually done a research on and gave Lake Forest an A+, because when you go to their website, they have everything right there about how to sign up and all the deadlines and all of that. And by the way, in Lake Forest, District 1, which is Portola Hills, and District 5, which is in the area between Muirlands and the freeway, are up for election this in November. So if you know anyone that lives in those areas, please have them contact Janet. And somebody put a question on the chat about these being at-large elections. Actually, they are not. Lake Forest was a gradual district transition. 3 of the places, districts 2, 3, and 4, are actually district represented now. Leah Bazell was in District 1. She left, she moved away. They appointed Mike James to that position. I believe he is in District 1, even though it was an at-large position. This election is District 1, District 5. We do not have anyone in District 5. We would love to find someone for District 5. That's the area between, again, Muirlands and the freeway. The other thing I talked to the council about was the flying of the Pride flag. I would like to see that happen next June. This gives them a year to get it on the agenda. And then the other thing was the Kids Factory. It was dropped from the budget in Lake Forest. There were a lot of parents at the meeting that were very upset about this and talking about how they need this program for their after-school care for their kids. Typically, the city has contributed a significant amount of money to keep that program going, and the parents paid very little. $100 a year, I think, was the last amount that they were paying. The city didn't make an attempt to negotiate with the recreation department or the school district to create a different fee schedule. And they just dropped it from the budget. And it was because of the coronavirus. The budget, they had to drop 10% out of the budget. And so the Kids Factory got cut. Well, in the course of the meeting, which this typically does not happen, during public comments, the council and the city manager never speak. Rarely do they speak. Well, in this particular case, with all the parents speaking, and I spoke to it too, the city manager actually said, we are going to bring this back to the table. So I'm going to follow this. I believe that they are going to negotiate with the recreation department and Saddleback School District, and they'll come up with a plan. I did get a report from the city council or from the staff that gave guidelines if they charge so much, if they raise the price to the parents, how it would affect the budget and could they do it? And it looks like they can. So I think that's a good thing. The last thing I want to talk to you about is in Lake Forest, they're planning to put a car wash, in the Heritage Hills Shopping Center on the corner of Lake Forest and Trabuco. And I'm finding a lot of people aren't even aware of this. So I'd like to get the word out. So what's happening is where the US Bank building is, they're actually planning a car wash there, and it's one express car wash. And well, I did a listing of pros and cons for this.
But
And
Andy, we don't have a lot of time, okay?
okay, it's just a minute. The pro is tax dollars for the city. The cons are we already have 2 car washes there. It spoils the ambiance of that. It adds 400 to 500 cars a day. That's what the contractor said. And so there's safety concerns with the kids that come from the schools in the area to after school. That diminishes parking, there's noise pollution, and there's fuel particulate pollution. And so I'd like people to email Jennifer Mansour at Lake Forest. You don't even have to live in Lake Forest. Anybody can email jmansour at lakeforestca.gov. That's JMANSUR at lakeforestca.gov. The Planning Commission is going to meet on August 6th to discuss this car wash. Thank you.
Thank you, Andy. And I don't want the car wash there either.
I know you don't.
Okay, Kathy Palmer is going to talk to us about some of the Mission Viejo stuff. This petition was done as a partnership between the Canyon Dems and the DPOC, the Democratic Party of Orange County. 152 people signed it, and it at least got the issues in Mission Viejo some visibility, which eventually we hope will help our candidate. And Kathy, can you add more to this? I'm sorry.
Your talk, yes. So I have been following this in the Voice of OC, and I did create a mailing list of all of the Canyon Dems in Mission Viejo. So hopefully they are aware of this, that there's a little bit of background involved, but Mission Viejo has basically been resistant to the idea of creating districts to elect city council members. 4 of the members live within a close enough geographic vicinity that they would not be eligible, only one of them. So they have tried to come up with another way to elect representatives. The problem is there is a lack of adequate representation, primarily for the Hispanic vote, Latinx vote in Mission Viejo. 18% of the population identifies as Latinx, and every single one of our 5 members are very, very, very white. So we did send emails, but it was kind of taken out of our hands. The members have not been active in trying to solve this problem. They've actually been digging their heels in and trying to come up with ways to hold on to their seats, which I say Greg Rath must not be very confident that he's going to beat Katie Porter if he's so desperate to hang on to his Mission Viejo City Council seat. Anyway, a judge just recently decided that only 2 of the members will be up for election. 3 others who had agreed in 2018 that all 5 members would serve 2-year terms. 3 of the members' terms were extended for 2 more years. So now they have until 2022 to come up with a system that will allow more diversity in the representation of the city council. And so I've been trying to keep members aware of that. Maybe a lot of you already know about Voice of Orange County. I've found that to be a very valuable source of information. And if you donate money to subscribe to it, it's a donation, so it's tax deductible. So it's kind of a win-win. The other thing that I'm really looking for is someone who will take charge of promoting community choice energy in Mission Viejo. Now is the time, because Irvine is moving forward with it. We could partner with them. but my own person, I don't want to, maybe I'm like Professor Boucher, I'm a little bit pessimistic about this. I don't think that the current city council is particularly interested in this. And I think they're more interested in holding on to their own seats and their own power than they are in working for things that would actually help the people of Mission Viejo. That's my own personal opinion. So if you're in Mission Viejo and you have an interest in clean energy and promoting that, please let me know. It is actually quite intensive trying to promote it. So people have been sending emails, and my cat is doing something in the background. So anyway, people have been sending emails and calling the city council. And I try to make people aware of issues that are coming up so that we can stay on top of them. But if there are specific issues in Mission Viejo that you would like to see the city council address or just would like to bring to my attention, please email me. I have sent out multiple emails, so you should have my Gmail email address and you can contact me. I'll put it in the chat so that
Thanks, Kathy. We really appreciate it. Yeah. Okay. Vivian.
Hey.
You're going to take over my screen, right?
Yeah, I can screen share, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Okay. Hey, hi, everybody. It's awesome to see your faces. Let's try something now that we haven't tried before. Let's give everybody a high five. Turn to the box to your right. Give them a high five. Turn to the box to your left. Give them a high five. Say you're awesome for being here during a pandemic. We never stop. Our work never stops. Like the professor said, our work, it cannot stop. So at this time, of course, we're not really promoting rallies and such because we want to stay safe. And yet we need to give our candidates some exposure. So as we start to approach November, coming up probably around September, October, we're going to do a couple of creative things. First thing we're going to do is we're going to ask you, Canyon Dam members, for video testimonials of your candidates. For Katie, for Dave Min, for Scott Reinhardt, for Pauline, all the candidates that we've mentioned tonight. We are going to do local video testimonials from all of you. We'll put them together in the same fashion, kind of that we did, a little bit different, but kind of the way we did when we did the Black Lives Matter, but at home kind of thing. So you'll see that coming up in the months to come. And then also similar to the way Marty is doing the parades for the birthdays and graduations and whatnot, there will be a parade probably that starts at the Murray Center. You'll have a chance to decorate your cars with the candidates' names, and we'll all take a cruise through the cities to show off our support and pride for our Democratic candidates. But we won't do that just yet, not in the summer months. We're going to do it strategically timed to give the right amount of exposure at just the right time. So stay tuned, stay engaged till then. Now, the other thing that people constantly ask me is, Vivian, what can I do for Katie? I think it came up earlier. Vivian, what's Katie doing? So much. So right now I'm going to screen share so we can show you a little bit about that. Let's see, are you seeing my screen?
Yeah.
Awesome. So this weekend on the 25th, this weekend is 100 days from the election. That's right, we're 100 days out for the big election. That is the thing we've all been looking for, right? So 100 days out, time is of the essence. We need to start now. This weekend, there is a big push. It's a big event called 100 Days Out Weekend of Action. I think several candidates are doing this. If you go on this website, in the upper left, you'll see mobilize.us/Porter for Congress. I know that's a lot to memorize, so just do this. Go to the Google machine, enter the word mobilize, easy to remember, right? Like your mobile phone, mobilize, and then put in Katie Porter. And then you'll be taken to this website, Mobilize Katie Porter for Congress, and you will see all the different ways that you can make a difference, all the different ways that you can do things to make sure we keep Katie in Congress. So there's the 100 Days Out, Weekend of Action, phone banking, different days of phone banking. There's even a social hour that they're doing. And down here, getting trained for texting. So this is a little bit different than you might think of. It's not texting on your telephone. I just got trained for this today. They actually have a separate computer platform, and you do it on this computer program. So the people that you're texting, they never see your name. They never see your phone number. It's a great way to connect with voters, especially if you're not comfortable doing phone banking. And this, like Professor Graham said, we got to get really creative in what we do and how we reach out to voters, right? So this text program that they have is really slick. It's really easy. It's really easy and friendly on the first-time activist if you haven't done things like this before, or even if you have. I have not done this kind of texting before. I've done texting in the past for candidates on my telephone, but this is different. This is on a computer program that they will give you and show you how to use it. You'll go through a training program. So please do some texting for Katie Porter. As you can see, there's several opportunities coming up. But wait, that's not all. You know what else people always ask me for? Vivian, how can I get a lawn sign for Katie Porter? Well, the time has come. Here we are. Raise your hand if you'd like to get a lawn sign for Katie Porter. Yes, they do. You can get a lawn sign if you want to get a t-shirt. How would you like to get a whiteboard? Katie Porter's known for her whiteboards in Congress. You too can have a whiteboard, just like Katie Porter. You can buy this, and where you go is shop. In the upper left, you'll see this shop.katieporter.com. And they've got, of course, masks. This is not to compete with the Canyon Dems face mask, but you know, you got to wash those face masks. So you need a few in your mask wardrobe now. So get a Canyon Dems face mask. Fill your mask wardrobe with different designs. Now you can get a Katie Porter for Congress face mask, yard sign, t-shirt, whiteboard. Again, please take note in the upper left at shop.katieporter.com. And the best part is not that they put me on the website, but that you'll read here, every purchase supports our grassroots movement to keep Katie in Congress. You not only get a shirt or a lawn sign, but it's a donation to keep Katie Porter in Congress. We need to keep our district blue. We need to keep the House blue. We fought so hard for it. Let me see a hand in the air if you're willing to do the hard work to keep the House blue. Let me see 2 hands in the air if you're willing to take back our Senate. All right, now let me see your hands wave wildly if you're doing the hard work to take back the White House. Wild, wild hands. Great job, everybody. I love you. Take care. That's it. Thank you.
Go off screen share, okay? Okay. Okay. Okay, folks, I need your help. I got this idea that since we can't knock on doors, that we could show our support for all of our candidates on a lawn sign. And we've never done anything like this. I've never seen a lawn sign like this with the whole list of candidates on it. And we're not even sure it's a good idea. So Rachel volunteered to design something, and we are going to ask you if you think this is a good idea. And we would need you to chip in $15. And when we have enough people sign up for doing it, then we produce the signs. Because I've been around campaigns when they produce a whole lot of signs and then they end up in a closet somewhere, and we don't want to do that. So Rachel, would you put up the poll? And we're going to ask you if you think this is a good idea or not, and to please give us your feedback.
The poll is up.
Okay. And even if we don't use it as a yard sign, it would look lovely on our website. So the work to produce it is not lost.
Okay, with the quick poll, we had 17 yes, 5 no's, and 4 with maybe with a redesign.
Okay, so the board of directors will take that under consideration and come back to you later. Thank you very much for your feedback. And now we have our treasurer's report. Ken?
Hi, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, good. Well, I want to first off thank everybody for their support of the club and all, and our committee chairs have worked so much effort into all the things they do to make this club exciting and make it very profitable for candidates and getting the Democratic message across. This has been another great month, and as you could see by the where we ended June, we actually are able to help more candidates. I wanted to go over a couple things first before I just go into a little more detail. One thing that I should note to everyone is we have actually changed our address. We last year we changed it, and if you happen to have a donation envelope that has a Trabuco Canyon address on there, could you please throw it away?
Throw it away.
Because first off, the post office will stop forwarding those to our Rancho Santa Margarita post office in probably about another month or so. And by the way, it's 2 months before I even see those in our mailbox. Your best bet is obviously to go through Act Blue. That is the best approach to do this. Okay, I'm going to go over some of the numbers from June. This is as of June, end of June. 21,143.56 is where we started the month. Sustaining donations has really been a solid numbers each month. That and membership. This is unprecedented because in previous years, probably before the 2016 election, I took this position in early 2016, and this late in the year, we would probably have like $0 for memberships. So this is why this is so unprecedented to see new members coming in, and it's just wonderful. We've had some of the fundraising that we've been talking about have actually been very, very productive. For example, we have gotten, selling things like our face masks. This year we brought in $680 for selling a face mask. Fantastic, great job. And jewelry is like 190. So we are just doing very, very well. Marty's ideas for the fundraising have been stellar. $680 so far on the car parades. And I know for a fact that her other ideas are also going to be profitable. I sure would like to have gone, or I would like to go to a Christmas dinner with all of you. And if it is possible, we will do that. But we are also realists and care about our members and the greater community involved. So our donations for the month was $18.90. We had a very routine expenses for the month of $300 or $400 for making sure we continue to have our web hosting, even though we also have Rachel, which helps so much in making our web hosting work. So we actually signed up for another 3 years of web hosting, so we're good on that. and ending the month at 2241.91. Now, we will have about $10,000 in contributions to candidates, as you have agreed to. I will be sending those checks out this month. And that will, and with the donations we have so far for this month, we'll probably end up July around 13,000 or so. So it still gives us a lot of flexibility to act quickly into taking care of the greater Blue community. And I want to thank each and every one of you for your help in getting this where we are now. Thanks very much.
Thank you, Ken. Ken does a lot of very hard work. We are both a federal and a state PAC, so he has to report to Sacramento, and he also has to report to Washington, all of our reports, just like any candidate would. So this is the end of the formal part of the meeting. Please stay safe, stay healthy, stay engaged. We're all in this together. And we're